friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, most amazing viewers, and I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. If you're new to this channel, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy and glad that you found me. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed, so grateful to do your reading yet again today. I can't wait to see what we have. So we're looking at your current situation, circumstance, understanding of something going on in your world energetically. And then we're going to take a look at the objective truth of that situation. So your perception, your understanding versus what is the actual truth, the objective truth coming from the divine. Okay, so I'm going to be channeling what it is that might be different than your understanding here of your situation in order to provide some form of clarity, some form of maybe removal of indifference or understanding you might have that might be causing challenge. Okay, because these readings are meant to create healing and are meant to make your life easy. Okay, this is why I do these readings. And so healing isn't always easy, which leads me to the disclaimer. The disclaimer is, if you found your way to me, you found your way to me. Okay, so you're here, I'm not over there. And how that works is either these messages resonate or not, based on your own level of consciousness. And tarot is going to reflect back to you your state of consciousness. Okay, and I'm channeling what comes through. I'm not creating anything here other than reading what is coming through, being channeled through from the divine through the cards. Okay, and so if we don't like what's being said, then either it's pushing us outside of our comfort zone, requiring us to heal that part of ourself, and we just don't know how to deal with it, and that would be pointing to maybe an area that needs to be resolved within your shadow, or it completely doesn't resonate and we're not triggered because there's nothing to be triggered. If it's not my message, then that's someone else's, or it doesn't even exist in your realm because it's nonsense. Okay, so either which way, you're here and there's going to be either resonating or not. That's up to you, and whether you're too sensitive to deal with the messaging is also going to be in the realm of you and spirit. Nothing to do with me. I channel the way I channel, and I will timestamp you here saying, no, I'm not going to change how I channel. No, I don't care if your feelings are hurt. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the ultimate goal of healing. Okay, so my commitment is to be as truthful as I can, channeling what I can, however it comes out. Sometimes it is, I don't know, sometimes it's fluffy and sometimes it's very direct. It depends who needs to hear it. Okay, and if your intuition is all out of whack, then you will get mixed up, which is your message, and you might be picking up messages that aren't even for you. So develop your intuition and understand that resonating is something that only you can do between you and spirit. It's not something that someone can tell you, force you. Okay, I'm not telling you or predicting anything about you. That's your own sort of consciousness. Okay, and you're the captain of your ship. Go guide yourself wherever you want to go. It's easy to unsubscribe. It's easy to go to another pile. It's easy to go to another reading. It's easy to go to another reader, and it's easy to just connect to the divine, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what to do, and tarot is here to be used as a spiritual tool to help you to grow, ascend, and that is always my commitment. And so my commitment to you guys is to deliver this message as unfiltered as I can. Okay, so beautiful people, 3 options to choose from. We will take a look at what we're using for the oracles and the tarot. We have the beloved dead, and I think this is called OH. Is anyone else hearing like really high beeping? Been hearing high beeping for the last, I don't know, like hour. And it's not tinnitus, or what's it called? Tinnitus? And your ears are beeping? Although it does feel like it's, I don't know, some form of beeping. It's annoying. I hope you guys all had a very good holiday. And for the tarot, we'll be using the Minute Chate tarot. I got these from Spencer's in the mall, because you're wondering. They're not standard tarot either. They come with all the zodiacs and all the elements and certain special cards. Okay, so angels, 3 options. I'll leave the video running for a bit, and if you're pulled to multiple flowers, there's multiple messages potentially in regards to your situation coming through. It could be energy around you coming from different angles, perspectives, but either which way we want to tap into one side of this being objective. Okay, so sit with the energy. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. Pile 1, you guys pick the yellow lotus flower. We're looking at your current situation from your perspective and from the objective truth side of things to see where the gaps are. Maybe your understanding of something is inaccurate or creating some form of obstacle or misunderstanding. And so this reading is to help you to move through whatever situation, circumstance that you have going on energetically. Okay, so like I said, if you use your first time here, you might want to go listen to the disclaimer. No one's forcing these messages on you. You're the one here, and so hopefully it resonates for you, but only you can tell. Okay, so I ask Spirit, what is it that pile 1 is currently understanding about their situation? And what is it that is the objective truth? So this is going to come through as one sort of message here. Okay, but I am going to use tarot to sort of clarify. And so if the part of how you're understanding your situation isn't resonating, then this isn't your message. You have to resonate with the perception that comes through. Okay, so that's how you'll know if this is your pile. Okay, I can't tell you that. Only you know. So let's take a look. Beautiful angels. We have haunted. Oh my goodness. And we have these 2 skulls. Skulls are giving me Scorpio energy. Death, transformation, haunted. It could certainly be like an energy that we can't seem to shake. You know, we feel like we're weighed down by someone potentially, or even like literally like haunted by like a soul that's crossed over in some way. Let's see. Interesting. Invisible. Yeah, like what is this? Ghost? Maybe someone ghosted? Metaphor for something? Okay. And then we have service, the service dog. So dogs are loyal. The loyalty of a friend, maybe that ghosted, is kind of what's pulling through here, you guys. Here's a, looks like a hooker, a lady of the streets. And that's what it looks like here. And she's outside of this door that probably says hotel or something. So red talks of passion. It could talk of lust. It could talk of anger, jealousy, root chakra stuff, so addictions and devilly ways. And prostitute could be symbolic of giving our service sort of out freely in some way, you know, at the expense of our own sort of dignity or our own sort of morals in return for something. And she's also smoking. She has blonde hair. Could be something. So we have embrace. This is a hug. And we have inside looking out, number 38, or the number 11. 11 is a master number, divine inspiration, synchronicities, and the encouragement to keep going. This is always someone sort of looking from the outer perspective at something, feeling like, yeah, like feeling like an outsider. Stars could be Aquarius energy. And more stars, more Aquarius. It says party leader. So this gives me 6 wands energy. 6 wands talks about ego, but talks about being seen, accepted, validated, celebrated. Party leader. So there's like the core of being seen, and then there's being on the outside of this. 2 opposite energies. 6 is lovers. 6 is the devil coming through yet again. Capricorn energy, Gemini energy. We have reflection. So she looks like she's in deep reflection of something. Contemplation could certainly be reflection. And we have unity. So unity is coming together as one. The trees talk about stability, security. I'm seeing 3 pentacles. which is working together, creating something here, something stable, the health of something, the security of something, or tree. Okay, and then we have perfume, vanity, deception, performativity. So that's performativity with this party leader. Also the vanity with the vanity here we were getting with the ego and the 6 wands. And then we have Saturn, Pluto. Wow. So Pluto's the shadow planet. Okay, the planet of haunted energies, really, because it's the represents the 12th house when it comes to energy, like the needs to heal what's hidden, the subconscious, shadow. Okay, and then Saturn is Capricorn energy. It's also Aquarius energy, which we were tapped into the Aquarius, but the Capricorn energy and Saturn is one of complete sort of dedication and ambitious energy to achieve over a long period of time. We might have to sacrifice. And we have Mercury, Saturn, so more Saturn. Mercury is the ruling planet for communication, either verbal or written communication with Mercury. Mercury is the ruling planet, for Gemini and Virgo. And so Mercury can represent the magician, to manifesting something over a long period of time, potentially. And we have pause. You're being asked to pause for making a quick decision and moving forward. Allow yourself to step back. Look at all the other possible outcomes and make sure you're headed in the right direction before moving forward. Okay, and then we have Golden Teacher with the magic mushroom, introspection, reflection, introspection, and then we're inside looking out. Okay, we'll definitely need some tarot here because I don't know that I have the full picture of what the frick is going on here with y'all, but let's see what comes through. You can click on the, sorry, I gotta find my right wand. You can click on the timestamp, will take you directly to the channeling, and let's see if we can tap into first what you're perceiving as something here. Okay, interesting. There is something you're engaged with. Okay, and I do feel it is a form of service. Or you're engaged with something that you're doing, and I do feel it's either through work or through a repetitive daily contribution of service. And I feel like either we're misaligned or we think we're misaligned. So we're going to find out what as this unfolds, okay? But I think you have an understanding here of what you're doing or what impact you're having. But there's another sort of meaning, or there's another reality here of how you're actually impacting. So let's see. If you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're not having an impact, Spirit is saying that's not true. Okay? That there's a part of you maybe that feels like you haven't made an impact, or you could do more, or that you're doing that, whatever it is that you're doing is not enough. And so there's this look of yourself like, I should be doing more, I need to be doing more, or what I'm doing here isn't of service enough to make an impact. And so for a lot of you guys, you might be in the public eye, or maybe there's like you're feeling like it's not getting out there, or it's not impacting the people it should, or being visible, or you're rewarded for like your efforts. Okay, now if you, because I'm getting the flip, and like I said, I don't know if you're doing something here that because either way, I don't think you're enjoying But I think the messaging goes like this. Either you're not enjoying what you're doing, and if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then that means that you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So you're asked to reconsider what you're doing here and invest it in something that is actually more aligned with what you want to do, because you're filling someone else's understanding of who you are, or a belief you have that you have to go down this path. Okay, that is for someone. But I think the bulk of you guys do enjoy what you do, but you feel like you're not, you enjoy what you do and you want to do it. But it's kind of like, let's say I enjoyed really, truly shining shoes. Like, I was passionate about it. It made me feel very happy, and I felt like there was a service to be needed. But then when I sat back and reflected, it was like, no one needs that. What am I kidding? Like, I can only really make maybe, I don't know, $30 a day or $100 max if on a good day, like you're getting in your head about it. But you really, really like to shine those shoes. Okay, that's an analogy. But I feel like what you're doing is you feel like nobody cares, so no one's going to see the shoe shiner. I'm not making people's lives better, or this service I'm providing isn't like I'm trading a part of myself to do this, because I have an understanding that it's not good enough, or it's not appreciated, or it's not having the outcome that it needs, really, because your passion for shining the shoes really might be an understanding that I wanted to make people happy and I wanted them to look good. But then you get in your own way of, but is looking good really bringing joy to people? Am I just sort of doing this and burning my tires? But at the end of the day, I'm just a shoe shiner, kind of analogy. Okay, now I don't think this is something like that extreme. Like I said, messages sometimes come extreme. I think what you're doing is very honorable, and I think what you're doing is very is actually quite honorable. I don't know what else to say, because all of you guys are doing something different. Okay, but I think your perception of what you're doing here is that it's not enough, or that it's not having the outcome of, let's say you're in the healing field, and then you're seeing it as, well, who really am I healing anyway? Who really is learning from this, Or let's say you're a tarot reader like me, and I've had these doubts too. It's like, I'm putting this out there. Is this really helping and healing? Or is this people just sort of, wanting to hear what they want to hear? When my mission and my vision is to heal people through messaging, regardless, so I could get stuck in looking from the outside, and then someone will say, oh, wow, this really helped me, and it makes it all worthwhile. And it's like, now I know why I do this, So it's like, if you're healing someone, or if you're helping, because I feel it is in the healing field in one capacity, spiritual healing, physical healing, whatever capacity you're engaged with people. And so some of you guys are in the public eye, or just some of you guys are not being appreciated or recognized. And so that would be like an egoic sort of need for victory. And so the truth of the matter, what Spirit is saying is, if you can look beyond maybe some form of maybe needing to be validated, or maybe needing that many clients or subscribers, or that many, I don't know, whatever it is here that's going to validate to you what you're doing is okay, that's just fulfilling some sort of egoic belief. And so we start to feel like, like we don't have the joy for the thing that we loved: shining the shoes, reading the tarot, I don't know, walking the dog, whatever we were doing. Okay, but we feel like we're, I don't know, like like trading a part of ourselves, So I feel like Spirit's really saying, objectively, take a really good look. And the good look here is in the ultimate sort of reasoning behind your thing that you're outputting here. And as long as you believe that it is something that is close to your heart and you enjoy doing, you know, not that you're filling someone else's version of what you need to be or do. As long as it's close to your own heart version, Spirit's saying through time, with the Saturn here, through time, this will be something that can grow to fulfill you. Okay, and I feel like the manifestation here is going to be through time. And that through time of communicating to yourself words of encouragement, if you don't have people around you to do this through time, will allow you to overcome days where you might be doubting yourself, or you feel like, what am I doing this for? It's not really amounting to much, because as we know, sometimes as healers, it's not always something that is easily sort of rewarded or seen, you know, especially when we're doing the dirty work, right? Just talking about people's egos. They don't want to hear that. So whatever we're doing here, okay, because it's going to be different for all of you guys. I feel you feel not seen, and I feel like this is weighing you down, and it's like a yeah, like it's like something that maybe you're reconsidering, you know, and it's like what Spirit is saying here is don't reconsider reconsidering it. Like if it speaks to your heart and you're only reconsidering because you feel like maybe people aren't on board, or like you're not touching enough people, or you're not seeing the growth just yet in the manifestation, it's still like in the shadow part here, because it's still being birthed in some way. It's like, don't let the reflection of what you see right now get you in a time of reflection and pause so that you can course correct. But to course correct now, to pause, if indeed you're not connecting to this thing, because I feel like you want fulfillment from your thing that actually makes your soul feel good, not some egoic thing that you're just doing because it pays the bill. That doesn't feel good. So I don't know which one yours are going to resonate with, but let's pull the tarot then to see, because obviously if two messages come through, there's two camps here of energy. One where you're still maybe doing 9 to 5, or where you're not doing the thing and you wanted to become maybe a healer. You wanted to, I don't know, do something in the limelight, or you have a vision of something that you really want, and then you're like, well, I don't know, maybe that's just me, you know, trying to talk myself into something, but that's ego as well. It's like, why can you not do the vision or the thing that you want? Why can you not, you know? Because maybe there's like a family expectation here with this tree, which talks about the family roots, to upkeep something like, you know, all the people in my family are doctors, or my family expects me to do this, or my upbringing talks about how careers need to look structurally, and so this is a belief I carry, and so now it's like anything outside of that would seem ridiculous in some way, or it wouldn't be approved or accepted, or I'd be seen as, I don't know, the YouTuber or the vagabond or the traveler, the thing that's is looked down upon potentially. So Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What is this message in regards to how they're seeing their current situation versus the truth of their situation? 5 Pentacles in the reverse. Jack of Cups, which is they do have the Page in the Night here, okay, as well. So the Jack's kind of pre-page even. But Cups is talking about our creative pursuits, our love. Okay, and the Jack, like I said, you can look at it as a page. So it's like, yeah, like maybe we're not getting the money right away, you know? Like, let's say, for example, if you start a YouTube channel, like, that's the only thing I can really compare this to. It's like, we might not have money coming in right away, you know? And it's like, but I'm doing sort of what I love to do. And so Spirit's saying, don't let this get in the way of you manifesting here, because through this Saturn energy, through leaning into the heart space, that's going to pay it forward and manifest and get you out of 5 Pentacle state, which is the scarcity mindset. I don't have the money or the resource. And if you flip it in the other camp, it's like, I won't follow my heart because it's not going to pay my bill, or money how it pays me in material gain here, or monetary gain, is all I'm really thinking about here. And Spirit saying, no, pause to consider, like, is this selling your soul in some way? Because you have a childhood dream of something creative that you want to follow. Death in reverse, Scorpio energy, 6 of Wands, which we were feeling from this party leader, like I said. And then we have Faith in reverse, which is like Hierophant energy, which is that's, like I said, the upbringing, or that family tree, the traditional upbringing. And it's like I'd be unconventional in some way. And also maybe I'd have to trust with the faith. It's like I'd have to trust this path that is unconventional in some way, that it would maybe pay me in the long run in some way. And so it's like I'm resisting the transformation of maybe leaving my current job. Maybe I'd have to relocate. Maybe I'd have to make major change in my world in order to pursue my heart's content, or my creative thing would require major change. And so we want victory. Okay, now victory, what Spirit's really showing here is the misconception we might have. Is victory solely monetary gain? We have to understand that victory doesn't mean one sort of way of being here that sells a part of ourself and trades our, like the cups part of us, because this speaks to our heart. This is like our childhood dream or vision of something we want to do, because we're thinking about the pentacle realm. Okay, and yeah, and Spirit's really saying, like, let's not get it in the way. And if you're on the other camp, it's like, don't let your ego get in the way of you thinking, well, I'm giving from this heart space, or I'm doing this thing here, but I'm not seeing, I'm not seeing the results here. And so it's like I'm not being appreciated, or I don't see anything manifesting here. And so Spirit is bringing this to your attention. Look at the king. Yeah, it's King of Clubs. So this is the King of Wands, who is savvy enough to run his own business, to get it done and to be successful, because he has a lot of confidence. He's business savvy. And so there is no loss when it comes to the vocabulary of this King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we might be questioning our ability to be successful and get her done and be accomplished in some way. And Spirit is saying, no, this is your energy here. Somebody who can follow their passions, their pursuits, and get it done. Ace of Cups. Yes, listen to your heart. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So right now, if you are following your heart and you haven't manifested the material gain, because it's like, I can only go so far following my heart, or healing, or doing what you're doing. Things are stuck. It's not coming in just yet. Spirit is saying, we understand things might be stuck, but get out of any mindset where you're looking at the material part of it for now, because the more you lean into your confidence of this King of Wands energy, the more success you're going to have in overcoming this, where things slowly transform. But it's still taking a while for the old energy to cycle out so that you can have a new beginning, like really leaning into the heart space of what you enjoy doing. And so if you are doing the old world and you're still hanging on to your world because it pays bills, Spirit is saying, release your understanding of what success looks like, and that lean into your heart. You are capable of running after your own business here. Okay. And so you might be very concerned that you'd have to sort of put a pause here on the money part, but it's like, but you're going to be rewarded in kind with the amount of emotional pleasure you're going to get from doing this, and then the monetary gain will come. But we have to allow things to sort of shift out here, and maybe we're hanging on to two worlds, or not allowing the transition of what needs to go. With 10 Pentacles in reverse, so we're getting lots of tree energy, which I was saying was family. This is family. So there is either a long-term thing we built around that would have to be released, and so we're more focused on the release of that and the loss of what won't work than focusing on the emotional happiness we would get, not trading our soul to the matrix world to make a pentacle here, thinking that that is victory. That's feeding some ego. That's living up some sort of construct belief. Okay, And if you are doing what you love and it's like you're doubting whether you can make a living off this and retire, you're like, I can't retire off this. And Spirit is saying, I recognize this, but pause and think. Pause and think, because we got some energy sitting in Saturn that you're capable of this. And allow yourself to really look at it from the perspective of what emotionally pleases you. Lean into it. Embrace that energy. You're not invisible. Okay, you're not invisible here. And so you might be just doubting and second guessing yourself. Beautiful angels. So this is your message, pile number 1. Looks like you guys want to follow your heart when it comes to how you spend your time, and it is rewarding when we listen to our heart to follow what we feel is right versus maybe what we were told has to be our way or our path because we feel guilt or we feel like that's the only way to survive. That's a heavy stress we don't need to carry. That's a belief we don't need to carry. So we need to work with the divine and have trust and faith that the divine's going to supply. We can't keep second guessing. When we second guess, and that means we don't trust the divine to deliver for us. Okay, so beautiful angels, that's your reading, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. I do believe this was your color. I don't know if I switched it, but we're going to go with this for pile number 2. We're taking a look at your understanding of a current situation or your energy right now in regards to a circumstance and how you understand or perceive this to be versus what the objective truth of that situation is, so that you can compare. And you might be bang on, or you might have a big misconception. And so misconceptions, you know what they say about assumptions, right? So they make an ass out of you and me. So do we have assumptions? Are we understanding certain things that might be creating conflict, or do we understand things exactly as they are? So this is intended to help you navigate through a situation. Okay, and like I said in the beginning, is not going to be everyone's message, so don't force it to resonate. Use your own intuition. You can click on the timestamp to go straight away to the channeling and see if this is your message. If you are working on your intuition, then let's go through the card layout so that you can tap your intuition into my intuition. So we have Spirit Throne, the Emperor's chair with some spirit. There's some smoke here. Empty throne. Okay, Aries energy. We have peace. And we have optimism. Okay, we have the shepherd opening the door to the sheep. We have wish, Aquarius energy. We have weight of truth, 75. Wow. Okay, and we have forgiveness. I'm just kind of getting this wispy energy from the chair as I am from this. And a tree talks about stability. A chair can certainly be stability with the 4 legs. About stability here coming through. This tree is giving me Jesus energy. Okay, and then we have heart's embrace. Wow. Okay. And we have gate. Freedom, openness, opportunity. Well, getting peace, optimism, freedom, openness. Sounds like a very, like the sheep are running free here. The sun is coming from behind. The sun talks about the joy, clarity, uncertainty, enlightenment being shown here. Sun and moon. Wow. Masculine, feminine. Sun and moon. Interesting. So the sun is outward energy, expansive, bright. Moon is inwards. It's receptive. It's emotions. It's subconscious. She's reflecting here. We have moon and Uranus. So we have Cancer energy, Leo energy, and we have Aquarius energy coming out with Uranus again. So Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. It's like it could be Tower energy. It could be Judgment energy with Uranus. 17 is Star. Star is Aquarius, and Star is all about wishes, vision for the future. And we have wish here, something sudden. And we have give. One of the best feelings we can experience is giving to others. When we do so, we feel lifted up and our lives improve greatly because of someone else's happiness. Think of one way you can give to another today. And we have the blue Larytomyces, discovery unknown 27, or the number 9. Let's put that there. Let me tap into this energy before we pull the tarot, because I don't know what's going on. There's some energy that's clear and there's some that I'm not understanding. So if you don't resonate with your perception and your understanding of this situation, circumstance, this isn't your pile, okay? There should be sort of one understanding and then the objective truth the spirit is channeling through here of what actually is the truth. Okay, this one's actually easy when I went through it. Beautiful people, you are a beautiful heart here. You know, I see you want something to manifest, a great wish of yours. I think you'll know exactly what it is. First thing that came into your mind, and I feel you've been giving to it. I feel like you're under some moonlight, and the moonlight you're under is not seeing something clearly, but you are going to see clearly with this sun energy. So where you're not seeing, because maybe you've been taken for granted, maybe you haven't manifested the thing, you haven't seen it yet. I think you're sad about it. And so the great truth here is that what you are doing is aligning yourself with your wish. Okay? And so I feel like if you got what you wanted, you'd be free, you'd be happy, you'd be peaceful. And it's like, why don't I feel this way, Spirit? And so we have an understanding that what we're doing is not aligning us with that, because we still haven't seen the thing manifest, you know, and maybe we're thinking, I won't do that no more, or I don't want to take that road that I was taking. And so I'm contemplating or I'm reflecting, and it's like, turn your energy around, Spirit said. There is an opportunity here. The sun will rise. You will see it clearly. Right now you're not, because I think you're discouraged, because it might take some time. But your situation here is going to liberate you. And there's a point where you'll have absolute freedom. And I think the freedom comes in way of peace. And I think things will flow a lot easier here. But what the truth of the matter is you becoming more optimistic about your wishes coming true in your vision, not clouded and uncertain and not seeing the truth. Because the truth is you are leaning in with your heart. I feel you are leaning in with an energy here of love, acceptance, forgiveness. But I feel like we lean in with love and acceptance, forgiveness, and then we feel sad. And if we're truly leaning with heart and forgiveness, there is nothing to be sad about. So I think we're still overcoming, and that's the moonlight. Because when we have an understanding such as, but I've given and I keep giving, and it's like, well, if that's the understanding, then we're still not giving from the right place. That's moon energy. Sorry, moon. Because when we give out of love, it expects nothing in return, and it accepts situations as they are. And so, but we can't beat ourselves up. If we feel bad, we feel bad. If we're not seeing the manifestation, we feel like we're not seeing the manifestation. Some of you guys, it could be a relationship here with this empty chair. Someone's not showing up. And it's like, I keep forgiving this person's disability, you know, their inability, I should say, to show up, their inability to manifest with me, their inability to do something here. Doesn't have to be, okay? It could be a business partner with Emperor. It could be like an absentee person. And it's like, I keep trying to be the bigger person. I keep giving from this heart space. I keep forgiving this person for not doing the thing. And so Spirit is saying, keep doing the thing. You have to come to a point where you see past the moonlight, because the moonlight is still things in your subconscious. And when we have things in our subconscious, we know what that is. It's traumas and fragmented energies that need to come to the surface. We need to highlight and look at it and recognize it as ego. Because the ego will masquerade as certain stories in our mind, saying, well, if this person didn't show up, then I'm just giving of myself. I got to put healthy boundaries. I got to enable myself. And Spirit's saying, no, 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 because this chair is empty. Meaning the Emperor doesn't need to go get empowered. You are already empowered. That's the moonlight. You're empowered because you're choosing heart. You're empowered because you're allowing to see beyond someone's ego, their inability to create or make the thing or be in their best behaviors. Okay, whatever. This person's not showing up, I think. And so I feel like there's a lot here about you having to create your own stability, you having to create your own world, you having to do something here. And so when we start to fall back in reflecting on the sadness of it or the woe is me of it, it's like we're not then seeing truth. We're blind to the truth. And so we got to remind ourselves back to the truth. I'm seeing with my subconscious, I'm seeing with my ego, I'm seeing with the part of me that's hurt. And so I need to recognize my emotions and acknowledge them as being valid emotions. Okay, because Spirit's not gaslighting you, saying they're not valid. Spirit's saying valid emotions, but these emotions are being tied to an understanding you have, which is untrue. It's coming from some moonlight vision that you're seeing your situation from. You're seeing distorted. And so your emotions are coming from a distorted understanding you have that still needs to get fleshed out, still needs to be seen. And when we see with the eyes of Spirit, clear, without trauma, without subconscious fears and traumas and fragmented energies, that means we're seeing with the heart. And we're seeing clearly. And then we have joy again. Because we know that we're aligned with the heart. And the heart is true. Anything that is acting outside of the truth is going to not feel very good here. And so Spirit's saying, keep going in your seeing through potentially people's misfortunes or their inability to do things, maybe when you need them to be done or how you want them to be done. Keep the peace. Like, this is a very beautiful Jesus message. Oh my gosh, and this is why I saw Jesus. Sorry, it's just really strong Jesus coming through here, because this is Jesus energy, you know, like, forgive them, Father, for they not know what they do. And that's exactly what this message is. And yes, this is preaching Jesus, okay? It is. That's how it's coming through. Like, give of yourself. And I think you are, but I think you're getting discouraged. And so it's okay to be discouraged. Validate your feelings, but where we need to intervene, intervene in the doorbell. I'll be right back. Interesting, right? When I was saying intervene. So my passport was being delivered and some other parcel, but the passport. And so passports talk about travel. Okay, and it's like maybe permission to travel or like doing something, maybe officially in some way, because the passport's very official. Maybe some of you guys are about to travel, and so it's confirmation. But there's also like, you have your picture in your passport. So it's like seeing yourself officially in some way is different than who you really are outside of your passport sort of role. Interesting. I feel like Spirits is really coming through here with a very clear message of continue leading with the heart. Catch yourself when you're in subconscious and seeing things distorted from a hurt place, because the truth of the situation is the more you are able to give from a place of wanting to give, because you connect to love in your heart space, the less weight you carry, the more peace you feel, the more happy you'll feel. And if you're not feeling that, then it's because we still have some misconception about what it means to love and give. And that's the thing we need to work on. Okay, or you could continue to feel bad and go back to egoic ways and say, well, now I'm just going to be empowered and lay boundaries and pick and choose who's worthy of everyone's worthy. Everyone's God's child. That's an easy thing we can do. Fall back in the way we were for the last however many decades you've been on earth. We're not going to do that anymore. What we're doing here is we're raising consciousness, and consciousness here says there are a lot of traumatized people walking around here. okay, who aren't maybe at our capacity yet of consciousness. And so we got to welcome them. Now, this doesn't mean we just let them step on us, right? This is one thing of what we're learning is like, how do I love and find balance? That's why we have masculine, feminine. How do I find balance with someone? And if I love them because they're a family member or they're someone I have unconditional love for, I have to know how I give in order for me to be in a balanced state here that doesn't make me feel bad or sad. We shouldn't feel bad or sad to give to someone we feel unconditional love for unless we have a trauma or we're seeing it from a different perspective that isn't true. It's egoic, it's hurt, it's has some form of identity that it's trying to attach you. Identity with the passport. Yes, ego. We're identifying with a story. I deserve, I'm entitled, I need, they should. Okay, once we start having that speak, and then we're not really loving from heart. And then we're just sort of like the rest of the populace here. Okay? We're leading the populace because we're pioneering this energy of higher states of consciousness so that we can light up the earth with our enlightenment here. And how do we get fully sort of enlightened with peace here? It is not by feeling sad or bad or lowering our vibe. Right? We feel peace by saying, I can give love and I can accept and I'm balanced in that state. No one pulls at my energy of emotions unless I give it. Okay, so we could be in a happy state when we're giving love. And if we feel unhappy giving it, then you know, you're not forced to give it. But then look at the moonlight, because only the moon, only the subconscious would want to take and keep. Well, I can't give to that person. Well, this is unfair. It's like, okay, well, that's moonlight. Because if we're fully balanced in our masculine and feminine, it's say, I'm going to give to the things I love and the things that I don't need to pay attention to, I don't. There's no distorted feelings, you know. The only time we feel bad is if we want to give unconditional love and we don't know how, because we have some misconception about what needs to come to us that isn't true, that needs to be transmuted, an understanding, a belief, and that we call the special love. Special love is when we have a relationship just like everyone else, where that person needs to do all these things for me, and that is an expectation that we put on someone else, and nobody is going to fill your expectation. And if they do, what sort of relationship then is that? Then that's one that's probably not going to last very long, or it's based on someone else's attachment. So is that really unconditional love? I doubt that. Okay, so let's take a look. What does Spirit want to say then to pile number 2? Right here, right now. Spirit, clear and concise message in regards to pile 2. Yeah, I'm really getting the working with someone, because I'm getting 3 pentacles here. And I feel you want to create and manifest, and you're not seeing the results, and I think you feel sad about it, and your emperor or someone who maybe should take a leadership role isn't, or you're the one who's out taking leadership role, and it's like, I want to sit down, or I want to see the stability, or I want to see the manifestation, I want to feel peace, I want to feel happiness. I'm not seeing it, you know, but you're focused on what you're not seeing. And it's like this discovery and unknown, it's like we haven't learned the way of the heart yet fully. The way of the heart is transmuting subconscious pains and things that are buried deep within us that give us understandings that are created from traumas, fears, and attachments, identifying, you know, with that story. And Spirit says, no, lean into the unknown of what the heart is going to produce for you, because there's something being created here for you. The more love you put into the world, the more you're going to take reward here, okay? But maybe you have an understanding of how quick you need to see it, but that's all timely human stuff, okay? So let's see, Spirit, what does Aries, so there, we were really feeling that Emperor energy. What does pile number 2 need to know then about their current situation and the truth of their situation? There's the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is one who lays boundaries. Okay, she has a wisdom and she has a clarity and an understanding based on her experience. So I dropped the card. It fell face down. And let's see. Prudence. Prudence, you guys. What did we say? Oh my goodness. So how are we giving to a situation? is really impacting us. And we might be tying our, whether we're empowered based on how much we're giving or how we're giving, because of an understanding in our mind. And Spirit's saying, get clear. Get clear, okay? Because just because your mind has one understanding or knowledge of something from the mind, there's also heart knowledge. There's intellect here that comes from the heart, which is heart intelligence. And then there's intellect that comes from the mind, which is mind intelligence, okay? And so we need to balance the heart and the mind. But when the mind is still pulling from the subconscious, then the mind is already tainted. And so we could still be balancing the heart with a tainted sort of mind. So this is why shadow work is important, where we do the work of the shadow work of the subconscious, clear the mind of the unhealthy thoughts that are on programming, understanding, stories, identifying. Like I said, the passport, we identify as something, you know, and that could sound like, I don't know, whatever story you tell yourself, the role that you are, the role you have to be in this relationship, this connection, this partnership, this situation with this person, because I do feel there's a person here. And so it's really tied to the investment you're making in this situation, how you give of yourself. And so Spirit is saying, what does true empowerment look like? True empowerment comes from peace, being optimistic, having clear heart space, and a clear mind. And the clear mind means we have to deal with the subconscious. So Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Why is Aries here, Spirit? And like I said at the beginning, these aren't traditional tarot. That's why we have Prudence here. That's why we have Aries here. The Knight of Swords in reverse. So that's like an energy of non-confronting, or like, yeah, it's like an energy that doesn't want to confront in some way. 4 swords and 2 swords and Knight of Cups and the Fire in reverse, and then the 6 clubs. So 6 clubs always gives me ego. Fire is definitely ego in the reverse. Aries certainly could be ego in the shadow here. So what does that tell me? This tells me that the ego pops through here, and it's masquerading as empowerment, because the mind is still tainted with subconscious thoughts that pop through, which is normal until we transmute those ways of thinking and identifying. And so this is only done through a period of reflection, conscious awareness, dealing with the 3 swords. 3 swords is pain we've experienced in the past. That could be the trauma, the stuff that's still blocking. Okay, and when I say blocking heart, there's no like heart chakra blocks. It's like the heart gets blocked when we have lower chakra blocks. Okay, and either our root, sacral, or solar plexus, which is where we carry the blocks, and then energy can't flow to the heart clear, because there's trauma that needs to be dealt with, truths that need to be sat with. And so I feel like Spirit is saying we might feel like blocking someone or running away or not confronting or not dealing with something, because the easiest thing would be just lay a boundary, because it's easy. If someone's irritating the shit out of me or didn't show up, it's just like, boom, you know, and I can relate with this energy too. But what good is this doing? Because it's not healing the trauma that needs to be transmuted. That energy needs to be burnt in the shadow. We need to shed light on that part of ourselves to say, well, this will result in many people, because many people are going to come into our world and fall short. And they might be really unsuspecting. They might just be in that energy. They're not trying to hurt you, or they're just behaving as they do. And so when we learn about unconditional love, okay, we learn about looking within ourselves to see where we're acting out of trigger and program, and we transmute this energy. It's no longer about our ego or us. It's about our wisdom and our understanding, because we could see past traumas, and now we're truly empowered, because what we're finding when we do this is the peace. How? Because now my emotions aren't pulled by this person, because I feel your emotions are really pulled by someone. who I feel you want to feel unconditional love for, but you can't get here until you do the transmutation and you look at the ego. Okay, so you think you have power or choice by, you know, whatever it is you can control. And what you can control is putting a boundary. What you can control is removing yourself, not confronting. So now you feel like you're in control because you want control of your emotions. That's why you're doing it. And Spirit is saying the truth here is that you shouldn't have to block, run, do any of that stuff to feel empowered. The empowerment comes from feeling peace when you're around, giving unconditional love, and your emotions aren't pulled. And so this isn't gaslighting you to feel different when you feel pain. This is giving you the keys to transmutation, to really saying, I must have some ego here. I must have something I need to work on in my subconscious to shed the light or to transmute, to burn off so that I don't feel sad when I'm giving. Because why would we feel sad when we're giving? Unless we have some form of egoic expectation or some unhealthy way to love that has a two-way something or other. Okay? Now, this, again, like I say, because I always put these disclaimers, it's not saying put up with an unbalanced situation. It's only imbalanced if we have some egoic story that we're identified with. We give because we want. No one's holding a gun to your head to be in a situation. And so this, if you want to block, go ahead. But we're just repeating something we've already experienced. And Spirit is saying you're given this opportunity, this journey, this healing time in order for you to reflect on the egoic transmutation of shadow work. Because this is how we truly love. Knight of Cups, wearing our heart on our sleeve. And this is like true, like love. This isn't just, you know, I don't know, like pretending. This true love comes from the heart space. And it's, again, love has no expectation. Love has no story attached to it. We love just because we accept what is. We don't try to change what we love. Okay? And so I feel like this is what we're learning. And I feel like Spirit wants you to give because you want to. And anytime you feel any contracting energies in your emotions, it's not because of this other person. And it's not telling you, okay, act. Okay? Because that's also a misnomer. Is like, when I start feeling a certain way, I'm going to act because my feelings are telling me how to act. Feelings never tell you how to act in a situation or circumstance, ever. Feelings are a mirror, kind of like tarot. They're mirroring your state of mind. Your state of mind is a story. And so your feelings are always reflecting your state of mind. You have good thoughts, you have good feelings. You have bad thoughts, you have bad feelings. So your feelings are just an indicator you're not thinking proper if it's triggering in trauma. That means you're thinking from subconscious. That means you're thinking from trauma. You're thinking from the three swords. You're thinking from an experience you had in the past that's nothing but a past illusion. Okay, but once, let's say, all of that is transmuted, no more ego. When it comes to that pain, we don't feel the pain when we give. We feel happy. We can show love. And our energy vibrates different. And now we pull in different types of people who want to show up. So right now we're pushing people out by our state of sadness or a state of feeling bad when we give, or state of feeling not empowered, or state of feeling not at peace, because there might be some sort of resentment here or some question around should I keep giving, or some imbalance. Okay, so something could move here, something that might be very stuck, and we might be considering the two options. Do I stay and give, or do I like block it completely? And Spirit is saying, if you're going to block completely, you won't heal it. And if you're going to give, you're going to get resentful unless you do the transmutation and clear the heart space of all this egoic noise that is in your mind telling you a story, falling back in ego consciousness. Okay, so beautiful angels, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, beautiful angels. Pile number 3, you guys picked the white lotus flower. We're looking at the message from Spirit here, and we're looking at your perception or your understanding of your current situation, the current set of circumstances, your energy around you, and then what is the truth? What is the objective truth going on? And so you might have a different understanding, and so this might create indifference. It might create challenge, and so this reading is here to help you to see maybe where you're not seeing. And so if you don't resonate with how you're seeing a situation, then this isn't your reading, okay? And so you have to resonate with it being your perception of something. And then Spirit's coming through with the truth, which I'm channeling as Spirit, okay, not as Linda. So let's take a look. If you want to go straight away to the channeling, you can go click on the timestamp. Okay, this will tap us into your intuition here through the card layout. So if you want to develop intuition, I would suggest you sit through this card layout process in order to develop that, okay? So we have visitation. Visitation. All right. That's an interesting energy. I don't think I've ever seen that. Purpose. And Bohemian. Wow. I'm getting like sort of Hierophant and then like anti-Hierophant energy, or like a reverse Hierophant energy from these two, Bohemian and this Purpose. Taurus energy. Let's see. We have the Whirlpool. Spiral of water. Could it be wind? No, that looks like a pool of water. And we have Rage. Oh my goodness. So Rage is fire, water and fire. Aries, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Scorpio, Pisces. Gemini, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sag. I don't know why I said Gemini. Probably Gemini somewhere here. Under a spell, 50, or the number 5. And we have Pathways. Wow, look at that card. Pathways. Is this at a crossroads or something? And Creation. And Torch. Hope, sight, and clarity. And we have Moon and Mercury, number 11. Moon is Cancer, Pisces. Mercury is Virgo, Gemini. So Gemini did end up coming through here. So this could be like hidden communication, or like we're not seeing through the fine print of something that's not being communicated or understood. Clarity. Yeah, what is going on here? Okay, we have 5 with Sun and Jupiter. Wow, big, big, big energy. Sun's huge energy. Jupiter's huge energy. We have 5s here again. So we have 2 5s. 5, 5 is about change is the only constant. 5 is also talking about divinely orchestrated change. So where the divine intervenes. But Sun, Jupiter is like highlighting clarity, even some sort of form of abundance or some form of joy. Interesting energy, you guys. So we have bravery. You're being asked to make a tough decision that you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable, but you do have strength and bravery. I almost said you do not. I don't think you feel brave enough for something here, you guys. You do have the strength and bravery to make this decision, and you will feel so much lighter when you do. Oh yeah, we're gonna just explode here. I think we're bottled up with something, you guys. Amanita, expanded awareness, number 16. 16 is the Tower energy, which I'm kind of getting from the Rage, because like the Rage is like it boils up, you know, this volcano bubbles up and then it explodes. The Tower is like, you know, kind of like it gets taller and taller until it just falls over. So something's tumbling down, some sort of understanding, or like I said, I had a Hierophant energy here with the Purpose and the Bohemian. Visitation. Okay, let me sit here with this energy, you guys, before I pull the tarot to see what it is that you understand, to believe some sort of truth or some understanding, and then we'll get into what the objective sort of truth is going on in your situation that you might not be understanding or seeing. Okay, could be you or someone around you. Okay, you can determine what's going on here, but it's a situation you'd be dealing with. I'm going to read this as your energy. You're having a difficult time communicating a truth about something that you feel, and I think it's been boiling up for some time because I think you have a lot invested in your belief around this thing. I think this thing, even though it says rage here, I'm just getting like a lot of fire energy, passion. I feel a lot of passion for this thing. Okay, like desire to express yourself. I feel like you want there to be an understanding of, I don't know, like things out, like things out, like we can't bottle it up anymore. And I think the rage is talking about the frustration we might have with ourselves. And so there is a situation that's lacking clarity. And I think it's lacking clarity because there is yourself sort of getting in the way here of communicating and putting everything sort of out. Because I feel like with this Sun Jupiter, there's nothing to lose in this situation. And so how you're seeing it is you're seeing the side of yourself here that has a belief that you can't communicate whatever this is, your truth or your position on something. And so you're really focused on that version of yourself for I don't know why. Maybe it's lack of confidence. Maybe it's I've never been in a position like this to have to take this role. Maybe this is something that means a lot to you with this purpose. And so it's like, fuck, like if I screw this up, and Spirit's saying the only way you're going to screw this up is if we keep things here in this sort of foggy moon energy, because this situation requires some clarity right now. So everything sort of needs to come out in the clear with the Sun Jupiter. But what comes out in the clear is like this beautiful faded sort of big prize of Jupiter Sun meets Sun. Okay, there's nothing more beautiful than this Jupiter meets Sun energy. Let's read it for you guys here, because I think maybe this is just an encouragement here to talk to your lack of self-confidence that's pulling through here about communicating or taking action and speaking a truth of yours. Oh, Sun Jupiter. Why was I reading Moon Mercury? Let's read Moon Mercury first for you guys, since I'm already here. Okay, in its primitive state, it says you're obsessed with your own feelings. You share too openly without filtering. Adaptive. You're a wordsmith who accurately and beautifully describes feelings and nuance. Evolving. You have a gift for emotional oration. Your words reach Your words reach right into the hearts of others to invite their inner angels to dialogue. So this is saying we need to get something out here from the heart to the situation, the heart of the matter. And we're not knowing how to communicate, okay? Sun and Jupiter, which is what I wanted to read for you guys. Number 5, primitive. In the primitive state where it's not developed, it says, you insist that others bow before you because you are the Sun King, requiring constant, grandiose admiration. You demand that others worship your every move. Adaptive. You largesse of talent. Sorry, I don't know what this says. Your largesse. Largesse? I've never seen that word in my life. Your largesse of talent and good luck nourishes the betterment of the world. Your greatest gift is your ability to be generous with all your gifts. Benevolence and humility emulate from your being. Your lighthouse is so bright that all can find shelter in your wisdom and manifestation of good in this world. So in evolving state, you are a personification of hope, optimism, and joy, and your positivity is contagious. So, angels, there's a situation here you have great impact over. Okay, big impact over. And it is bringing the peace to a situation. And I feel like in the maladaptive state, or the primitive, there is potentially a situation you're dealing with here. Like I said, that it is staying unclear because of your own inability to maybe be brave or courageous, but it's appearing as though it's a selfish, like they say, grandiose sort of understanding of self here. But I don't think this is coming from you thinking you're too good. But when we take and we don't allow ourselves to come out because we're not leaning into bravery. It is a cowardly energy. And so others might perceive, if they are not in tune with your energy of struggle here, or your lack of confidence, or your inability to trust yourself, as a lack of care, a lack of purpose in this thing. So I'll give you an example. I really, really, really want to get promoted. For years, I wanted this role, and finally the person who is in that role leaves. And then the person who's hiring comes around and talks to everyone to try to gauge, who wants that role or who's serious about it. And I don't speak up because I want it, but I don't speak up. Well, what does that mean? We've just sabotaged ourselves because there was so much riding on this thing, and we just didn't do it. We didn't say it, and then someone else gets the role. So I'm not saying someone else is going to win the job or get the lady. It could be, but it could be what you're not seeing here is that your boss or your lady or your situation is looking at you from a perspective that's saying, are you serious, or are you just sort of this vagabond drifter here with this bohemian who doesn't give a rat's behind? And I know that sounds very extreme, and I don't care, but that's kind of how it's coming through. So I just kind of, maybe I get it. Like if we're in an interview and they're like, how bad do you want this job? I'm like, yeah, maybe I get it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I show up. Maybe I don't. And kind of this bohemian, easygoing energy about something that really, I'm like, in the inside, I'm like busting a nut for. Okay, so if we're busting a nut, what are we showing on the outside? And I think, knock, 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 with this visitation, it's like your authentic self is coming through here. And actually, I'm really seeing your shadow self here with all this dark energy. Is like the shadow self comes to talk you out of something. But your truest self, interesting, we have the white here, your authentic self knows there's great purpose. Your authentic self gives it great purpose, but your shadow self comes out, and how you manifest is this bohemian. So inside I'm pure, inside I see great purpose, inside I have this great passion, this understanding, and it's very serious, I want this role. But how I show up at the interview is, I don't know, in like street clothes and pretending like it doesn't matter to me. I'm shadow, and so therefore I stay in the same role, therefore I stay not progressing in any relationship, therefore I'm single again, therefore I'm repeating and not ascending. And so under this spell, I feel like for a lot of you guys, this could be a relationship. And I'm not telling this person how I feel because I can't put myself out there. Okay, so we're under a spell. I think the spell 1 is your shadow. And 2, I think this situation means something to you. And you might be so enamored here that you don't want to fuck it up. And I think you're at a crossroads right now. And Spirit is saying, if you're at a crossroads, one decision of how you react or act in this moment is either going to be authentic and show that you have purpose and want passion, and you let it out and make it very clear and abundantly obvious so you can manifest great abundance through your expanded awareness of what you deserve and want by being brave, or we become this bohemian. We experience whatever we do, because what's going to happen here is going to make us very angry. And at one point, we're going to have a realization, because it will catch up, that I'm holding a torch. I think you might be holding a torch for someone, and I haven't told them. And it's like, then we repeat something here once too many, or get stuck in something here once too many. We chose not the brave path, and then we experience the rage. Because eventually that employer, that person is going to say, well, I can't deal with the bohemian because this role or this thing requires the person who needs to be whatever this thing is, because this situation is calling for a certain energy. It's calling for this energy. But there's nothing wrong with this energy. If you want to be this energy, then go be this energy wherever you want. But I think you want to be this energy but you want to attain the thing that this person will attain. These two people are going to attain two different vibes, two different things, two different worlds that they want. You know, like, what is it that they have passion for? And so I feel like the manifestation here of what you're going to attain is definitely going to be based on how clear you are, how brave you are, what choice you choose, what you say and go after here, by being very aware with this expanded awareness. And I think you might be in the dark maybe about, you know, going into the job interview like this. I don't know. Maybe you know that you're appearing like this. I don't think so though. Maybe you think you are providing some form of clarity here to the situation or some light, but maybe not, you know, for some of you guys, because this volcano is like really knows it's about to blow. But sometimes volcanoes are spontaneous, right? Like, and so what Spirit's really showing is your understanding of something, either which way, is like you're coming like this, whether you're aware of it or not. This is what you're showing out as. Doesn't matter what's behind there so much, you know? Like, even if you've known your boss for years and maybe your boss knows your quirky ways and says, oh, I really know that Richard, I don't know why Richard came through. You know, Richard really wants this role. So your boss sees you like this and they understand you're really like this and you'd be a very good fit, and maybe they would give you a chance, you know. But I have a feeling whatever you're dealing with might see you, but I think what you're going to manifest and create here is going to be based on what you're showing up as. Because what Spirit's showing here is we're repeating something here, and we're going to get stuck in something here, and we're going to relive something here, and we're going to get pretty upset at ourselves because we didn't act authentic in that moment. We didn't speak up. We didn't choose. We didn't make it clear. We didn't tell that person or that job that we were interested. And so we might have a lot of hope for something here, like a big, I think there's something really big you want with Jupiter, you know, it means a lot. You have a lot riding on this thing. And so let's act like it then, right? But we're doing the opposite. I don't know what that syndrome is, you know, it's almost like sabotaging self, really, at the end of the day. Because why? I don't know. We really want that job. We really want that relationship. We really want that opportunity to pan out, and it would require me to admit it, to embrace it, to accept it, and Spirit's really saying like there's potential to create something huge, which Jupiter I keep saying, and Sun is even source energy. Source is creation. Sun is masculine, okay, being empowered. Like, we got to get empowered to talk about this. Look at this, 5 Pentacles in reverse. What is that? Getting out of the lack mindset, scarcity. So there's a belief we have that we cannot, you know, and it's the lack of confidence, or I don't have the thing what it takes. And so when it comes down to it, we might really think that we don't have the thing that it takes. And that's what's keeping us from speaking up. And all Spirit is saying, because this might be the misconception, is you don't need the thing that you think that you need. You just need to change your mindset about where you're at in your position. That's it. You just need what you need, more in the practical terms, isn't more resource or money or thing. Is like what you need right here is words, clarity, light, communicate, express, let out, make it known. You know, that's really what this situation is calling for. That's going to get you out of this thing. But I think you're seeing what I don't have, what I can't do. Like, the boss comes asking who wants to apply for this position, and you're saying, I don't know, like, oh, I don't have any like pressed shirts or black shoes that I got to wear because now I'm the boss. Like, you know, all the bosses like knows that there's like a clothing program where they outfit you with clothes. You just have to show interest, and then they give you your clothes, and they give you a car, and they give you whatever you need, but you're too concerned with the shirt you need because you want to really impress. So it's like, if I apply for this job and I come in my whatever, my outfit, and it's not good, then I'm going to look like a schmuck. And so you don't even say anything, but it's like, no, you're getting hung up on the thing that doesn't matter, or at least the thing that is talking you out of it. That's the shadow knocking on your door. That's making you not feel courageous because you feel like you cannot. So Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 3, since this is giving them more confirmation about what they're needing to do here. can we elaborate on pile three's messaging in regards to what it is that they're understanding or seeing versus what the truth of the situation is here? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good to help heal pile three from this, whatever this is that they're experiencing. 6 coins. I'm not in a position where I feel like I could come up to that level of that job or that relationship to give of an equal measure in the pentacle realm, because you have some form of understanding right now what it means to show up to this thing that I think is not allowing you to be honest. Okay, and Spirit's just saying, like, you are at the level here of being able to give and receive. You just have to make it known and then allow things to flow, because I feel like things aren't flowing in and out in a balanced way right now in your situation because of your mindset. Your mindset's getting in the way right here. Madman. This is not your standard tarot, and so I'm not sure really what madman is, but the madman is kind of like a lunatic in some way, right? Like, he's kind of doing things without rhyme or reason because of his madness. And so it makes no logical sense, right? Like I explained here, it's like, I really want it and it means so much. So you would think if it means so much, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to do, I'm going to say, I'm going to do. Like, that would be normal, right? Not like, yeah, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I'll just sit here and not show up to the appointment and my boss will call me. He knows I'm interested. Like, that's mad. Makes no sense. So it's like, get out of that energy. Don't lean on your mad energy. It's not helping you in the situation. Your nonchalantness, your not caringness or whatever, because I think that's the exterior you have, but inside is a bubbling rage. Inside there's like this, I feel it, you know, it's like this passionate rage for something here. You need to grab and hold and be brave. So the fear is really manifesting as this nonchalantness. The more nonchalantness and I don't care, the more it means it's not as important. Meanwhile, I don't know, you're thinking about this day and night. Like, look at all these stars. My biggest wish with the Jupiter, my biggest thing here. Like, the best job I've ever had here is my dream job, my dream house, my dream girl, my dream guy. And I'm going to get in this rage energy because it's going to, this bohemian energy is going to put me into this spiral that I've already experienced. So we have Aquarius in reverse. So Aquarius is an energy of thinking outside the box, okay, and having to be different and sort of unique to our own vision of how we can accomplish and doing things. I feel like we're not letting our own personal self come through here, because I feel like this situation would require you to just be yourself. And you might think, maybe I'm too different, or maybe, like, because this is the 5 Pentacles, right? But that's what it's required. Like, you're the perfect fit for this thing. That's why you are, I don't know, being pursued in this way, or you're engaged in this situation, because you have this energy, but I think you're shutting it out. You're not letting your quirkiness come through. And I think this isn't really quirkiness of your authenticity. I think this is your shadow resulting as a bohemian. 7 of Cups. Yeah, it's creating confusion in a situation that needs clarity. And it's like, we need to go after it and look at this hand's like grabbing it. 7 Cups means there's too many options and I can't pick, I can't choose wisely. It's all clouded here, but I think you know what it is that you want. And so you keep the confusion alive by keeping all your options. And so if your boss says, you know, like, hey, Richard, there's this role now, are you interested? And you're like, yeah, up the street there's a job, I kind of read in the paper there's this other job. Like, I feel you're not interested in any of those other jobs. Why is this open? Because your boss is going to say, well, this guy's mad. Well, go ahead then, choose the other job. I need someone who's going to want this, you know. And then we have no one to blame but ourselves, because we sat in the 7 Cups energy. And the 7 Cups is also this again, the dream, the fantasy, the big vision I have for something. So I feel like there's this vision that's going to give you some big purpose, that has a lot of big meaning. 9 Pentacles. Your confidence is missing. And I feel your confidence is missing because I think you're putting too much on the resource that you need. Maybe you think you need something here that you don't. You're convincing yourself. And so it's not giving you the confidence you need. Okay. And so here, you just need to play this thing that Linda is channeling for you. Okay. I'm Linda. Hello. Confidence in my ability to just speak my mind. That is all that's required to be brave. I don't require anything else. I don't. So I don't have to convince anyone of anything. I think this is already sold. This is already in your wheelhouse. This is already for you. There is no convincing. There's nothing else you need. All you need to do is claim it in way of saying, I want this. Make it clear. Make it known. Not half-assed, not madman-like, not nonchalant, not in bohemian clothing, but, you know, because I think you're not giving the situation the credence that it's worth. And so it's very disrespectful, I feel here, especially to this purposeful thing, whoever you're dealing with. It really is. The situation is not going to like this, you know, or at least I don't think you're going to like this, because if the situation isn't seeing what's really going on, the situation is going to disappoint you. The air is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So this is the thought. This is the sword suit. Swords are all about having understanding and then communicating and being authentic. Okay. And so I think you have an understanding, and your understanding of what is true for what you want has to be communicated and acted upon. Do not let the pentacle realm get in your way. Okay. And the pentacle realm is some thing that you think you need to supply here above and beyond just your own self. That is an untruth. Okay. So act in that. Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah. So I think you're unclear right now about a situation. Or, like I said, it's not that you're unclear. It's like you're coming to the party unclear. You're coming to the situation without providing certainty. You're leaving people in confusion. You're not providing that. Okay? And so it's repeating itself. And just for clarity there, I mean, it's not my fault if this thing repeats. It's just showing you. Like, you're not being clear. You're keeping people in confusion. And it's not good. So let's see. I'm going to see then if pile number 4 speaks their truth. What happens here? If they're brave, if they expand their awareness here and they speak their truth, they shed their light, they give clarity on the situation, what can they expect, spirits? Clear and concise message for pile number 4. Charity in reverse, death in reverse, 9 swords in reverse. The imbalance, like I said, so this is giving and this is taking and keeping. This is not allowing things to transform. And this is a lot of anxiety with the 9 swords. Sleepless nights, can't eat, sleep. The anxiety gets in the way. There's too much voices in our head. And we have the 8 cups, walk away from something that isn't emotionally fulfilling. 7 coins, we don't put in the energy or the effort. We give up before we got started. Don't think there's a reward at the end, so we don't even try. Leo in reverse. So this could be the ego, shedding of the ego, but it's also the courage, the bravery here, where we're cowardly or we're not leaning into the courage. The star in reverse. So therefore we lose out on our star and our wish. Remember, I told you, big star energy, Jupiter. This is our vision. You're saying you want this. You have a vision of something you really want. This is like losing hope, not getting our wish. So I asked what you'd get. It's showing you what you're not getting here if you lean into what you want. So maybe this is driver enough for you. 6 of Pentacles and the trumpets, which is judgment energy in reverse, and bottom of the deck, the Chariot. Okay. Very clear message. Beautiful people. Chariot, Cancer energy. Aquarius more. Okay, so all of this stuff to tell you, you're in a position to bring balance to a situation. You do have the thing that you think that you need. in order for it to get balanced. It's not balanced right now. And it's the vision you have of what it is you want. You can be victorious if you lean into it and communicate, like I said. But you don't see it right now, and you're not being honest with yourself because you're choosing to give up. You're choosing to not emotionally leave whatever mind state you're in that isn't pleasing you. And so if you don't speak up because of your anxiety gets in the way and you're cowardly and you don't shed the ego, you're not going to get the thing you want. And so the reward that you don't get is really the challenge here, is because what you don't get is like, you're going to be filled with rage. You're going to be filled with looking at a loss. You're going to be filled with anxiety. You're going to be filled with an untruth if you don't do it. Okay. And if you do it, you get your wish, you get victory, and you integrate that part of your shadow. And I think that part of the shadow is the confident self that needs to be welcomed, because once we do this life lesson, we're balanced. We're not acting bohemian and behind the scenes this Hierophant priest. Yeah, we're back and forth. We're wishy-washy. We're not decided. And so we look like we haven't prioritized or chose or picked this thing. So it becomes an option. So you could keep this thing as an option, but then you have nobody here to blame but yourself, It really is what Spirit is saying, because you're juggling with the possibility of this being very direct for you and grabbing one of these pentacles and making it happen. It's like chasing two rabbits, keeping two energies up in the air, and therefore we can't settle. We can't settle. We're bohemian, and behind the scenes we're this, the mullet, short on top, long on the back, and we look like a clusterfuck. So we got to do something here, okay? And it's something is the speaking up, something is claiming for self, something is being courageous and saying, I want this star. Like, you want it. I don't know why you would tell yourself you don't. It keeps coming through here. You're the one saying, I want it. But maybe it means too much to you or something. I don't know. Only you know why, but it's the confidence thing or some speak thing. So, beautiful pile number 4. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I love you so much. I hope you can overcome this. You can do it. I don't see why not. I hope you believe in it. Watch this reading again, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.